Mbaaniriza mwenna banneeyunzeeko akawungeezi k'olunaku olwaleero, amannya gange yenze Trevor Online era nga nze n'ebifundikidde olunaku. Omukutu gw'amawulire ogwa BBC guliko Munnayuganda gwe gwayasanguzza okuba ng'ali emabega w'okutunda abawala Bannayuganda mu kibuga Dubai. Charles Mwesigwa yali omuvuzi wa bbaasi mu UAE wabula oluvannyuma n'abivaamu kwe kutandika okutunda abaana ab'obuwala ng'abalimba nga bw'abafunidde emirimu mu supamaketi ne hoteri ez'ebbeeyi wabula olwali ng'okulinnya ennyonyi ne batuukayo mu katego ke ng'abasuula mu mabanja okukakkana nga bamukoledde emirimu gye. Kikakasiddwa nti abawala babiri abali mu mirimu egiri mu kkowe eryo nga bamulinako akakwate be baakafa mu ngeri eriko akabuuza oluvannyuma lw'okuwanuka ku bizimbe. Famire zaabwe zigamba ensonga eno teyanoonyerezebwako kimala. Ate yo poliisi ya Uganda evuddeyo ku mikutu gyayo n'etegeeza eggwanga nga bwe bakyali ku muyiggo gw'omutemu ali emabega w'okutta omwami David ne mukyala we Mutaaga. Poliisi eyongezza ekirabo eri oyo yenna alina ky'amanyi ku mayitire g'oyo eyawulikikako mu katambi akaazannyibwa nga kati bongeddeko miliyoni 10 ku ezo miliyoni 5 ze baali beeyama. Bano bagenze maaso ne beemulugunya ku mboozi eyafulumidde mu lupapula lwa New Vision ku Lwokutaano oluwedde, wabula poliisi etegeezezza nga bw'erina beesuubiriza okusinziira ku kunoonyereza okugenda maaso. Bano bakakasizza nti bwe banaafuna obujulizi obw'enkukunala ku bantu bano bajja kubuulira eggwanga ebibakwatako. Ekibiina kya People's Front for Freedom PFF kirangiridde nga bwe kitagenda kusimbawo muntu yenna okuvuganya ku kifo ky'obwa pulezidenti mu kalulu k'omwaka ogujja. Okusinziira ku mwogezi w'ekibiina omubaka Ibrahim Ssemujju Nganda, PFF eri mu kwogerezeganya n'ekibiina kya National Unity Platform wamu ne Alliance for National Transformation okulaba nga bakkaanya okusimbawo omuntu omu. Ekibiina kigamba okusalawo kuno kugendereddwamu okuzimba obwegassi obw'amaanyi era ng'ebisingawo ku mboozi eno ngenda kuba mbibalaga mu maaso awo. Mu birala bye tugenda okulaba mwe muli akakiiko k'ebyokulonda akagobye abeegwanyiza entebe y'omukulembeze w'eggwanga nga mu bo tulinamu Kasibante owa National Peasants Party ng'ono alina obutakkaanya ne ssaabawandiisi w'ekibiina Sharifu Ssentongo. John Katumba abadde n'empapula ezibulako ate ye Magezi David alumiriza okuba nga yazzaayo empapula okuli emikono amangu wabula nga ne gye buli kati abakulu mu kakiiko k'ebyokulonda tebannamwanukula. Nga mpunzika tugenda kulaba abeegwanyiza ebifo mu Parliament nga bayita ku tiketi y'ekibiina kya NUP abagenda okutubuulira olunaku lw'okusunsula bwe lubadde. Mbajjukiza okusubscribinga wamu n'okulayikinga vidiyo zaffe zisobole okutambula ku misinde egya waggulu.
I brought my signatures for verification on Tuesday. Right now I have come, I myself, to pass Pussy Adada into a community Chatut or Ostam or Chichi to know the origin. Why am I not given replies since then? If you bring 100 signatures per district, the electoral commission is required to verify those signatures and to give you the reply as soon as possible. That is such a district you're remaining with 20 or 30, but up to now, this is a new week. Since Tuesday up to now, I haven't got any reply. So I'm demanding for a reply as soon as possible so that I fulfill the signatures that are remaining per district. I proceeded to pay the 20 M. So I need reply instantly.
Why the impatience?
No one is doing business normal setup. Why do I need to sit home to wait? I should come and I have the answers. Reason being, if at all they give me the information too late, 2 days to nomination, how will I go to Mulata to look for the remaining signatures? So I should come myself and I ask for reply. I seek for the reply as soon as possible so that I'm not caught to the deadline. People who are coming right now, I don't know, I will call it a state of verota pasimility to diventata. Because reason being, it is a full week. Last week, you never submitted. And this week, almost 7 days to nomination. So that means you are going to put in the state of Skyra Karibudis, and you can't withdraw out of it. You may not be nominated.
And you not field a presidential candidate in the forthcoming 2026 presidential election. The party, PFF, has made this decision in the broader interest of building a single, stronger freedom-seeking force that should steer the country throughout this turbulent political period and hold it together after. The continued disappearance and abduction of citizens including candidates, is turning 2026 elections into a militarized campaign. It is this desire to unite the country against family and military rule that made us sign the cooperation agreement with the Alliance for National Transformation on July 2nd, 2025. The forthcoming elections are designed by Museveni and his family to be the worst in our history. Electoral processes have been taken over by the military after overrunning all civic institutions, including the Electoral Commission. Both the judiciary and parliament now exist in name. The country faces a real existential threat from the Museveni family. The PFF and the ANT have, since the signing of the cooperation agreement, engaged and held at least 2 meetings in the National Unity Platform, aimed at aggregating our efforts and reducing duplicity. The three parties have intensely discussed the usually difficult issue of fielding a joint presidential candidate. The ANT believes that a coalition can be built around 2 presidential candidates, Major General Gregory Mugisha-Muntu and Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. That these 2 candidates with different appeal would now be presented to the country as though they are one. The National Unity Platform, on the other hand, strongly believes in a joint presidential candidate who has a wider appeal. Like the PFF also believes in a joint presidential candidate who should lead the campaign for freedom. We would therefore like to report to the country that our discussions had progressed to this level. The National Unity Platform asked for a break to conclude its vetting processes. The discussions will therefore resume when no returns. That being the case, who will, as noted earlier, the next elections are already threatening to be the worst in Uganda's recorded history. The military headed by the notorious General Mwesigwa is abducting and disappearing citizens with impunity. Muhoozi's 8-year-old father, who is by weakening by the day, has decided to unleash his brutal son to citizens. There is no credible voters register to speak about. The election calendar is being crafted to suit the biological inadequacies of Mr. Museveni. Security, which should ordinarily keep law and order, has been instructed to fail opposition campaigns. Mr. Museveni wants to serve the country with a controlled campaign in which simple things like processions and rallies are almost banned. The media is under increasing pressure. Museveni has had criminal gangs under the guise of empowering ghetto communities. Our leaders, Dr. Kizabesi, Ajobede Butare, Sam Mugumya, and a host of other citizens belonging to other parties and those with no political affiliation, remain in detention on politically motivated charges. Sam Mugumya joins, in his case, a list of citizens that have been disappeared by this regime. The regime has emptied the national treasury because it requires lots of money to rent for support. This is what awaits the opposition in the forthcoming elections. This is what awaits the country. We can only surmount it with a united and well-coordinated force. PFF National Call to Action. The PFF calls all citizens to unite and work for change in a coordinated manner in the midst of all these threats. We call upon our supporters and leaders throughout the country to embrace and work with all forces of change. Be aware that the dictator will seek to divide us even more using intimidation, money, and propaganda. We warn the Electoral Commission not to falsify the National Voters Register and not to assign NRM vigilantes with the electoral management. We also instructed all active citizens to compile names of NRM party leaders and vigilantes that have been drafted into electoral management by the Electoral Commission and forward these names to us. The Electoral Commission still has a chance where they have drafted in NRM vigilantes in election management to expel them and stop them. We will not just stop at exposing them. Finally, all opposition parties should work together to cause the indictment of the perpetrators of enforced disappearances and abductions, especially the top leaders of government and security forces at the International Criminal Court. Freedom for all for freedom, all for freedom, freedom for all.
Served and sat on the accountability committees like COSASE. I've done oversight on the Foreign Affairs Committee. So I believe I'm very competent and ready to carry on the mantle of representing the people of Chadondo East constituency. I've ever represented them for the past 4 years. 4 years in Parliament. I've ably represented the people of Chadondo East constituency. I've tabled the views and aspirations of the people of Uganda, those in Uganda and those in the diaspora. It's very unfortunate that we come here today when a number of our fellow candidates are detained, we are kidnapped. I believe this was an attempt to instill fear upon NUP supporters and us as candidates. So we are determined to carry on the mantle. I believe I'm ready and committed. I'm able to train and I've carried all the requirements as announced by the EC of NUP. So I believe I'm going to offer them elaborate answers and I believe I'll be successful.
Thank you very much. The meeting went on smoothly. Whatever they asked me, I answered it properly. And then they told me, I think I'm the best. So from here, what next? Next, we are going into the general election. So I'm waiting for the nomination on the 15th.
So what is going to be your legislative agenda
my first legislative agenda for my people of the East constituency is to fight household poverty. We are near the capital city, but when you look at the income of our people of the East constituency, I think they are the lowest. The MP with the incumbent, he became a national MP for everyone. He forgot about his people of the East constituency. So my primary goal is to represent my people and to fight poverty, household poverty.
And I know the commissioners will be bringing out the best candidate. As you're aware, we've already been assessed and the field is out of 60. And as we come here, we are looking for 40%. One thing I feel a little different or where I have higher advantage is the focus. Not only am I the incumbent, but also my leadership. Before being the one giving for secretary, I was a speaker. I've gone through all levels. Talk about being the secretary of Uganda's at LC1 level. I've also been a secretary at parish level for the women councils. I've been in youth leadership. But before I was the speaker for Shiramu, I was a deputy mayor for Shiramu municipality. Last term, I've been the vice chairperson of Mwesigwa. So the mere fact that I'm able to look amongst the Mwesigwa, I accept it. Not only that, I'm doing what I request Wakiso to send me for. I stand in parliament, I'm able to articulate. I've been able to represent them. Talk about matters of churches. I was able to take the matter for conversation. I talk about, I presented the matter of Chibogwa, where we had fire, and we were able to ask for compensation for those people. I'm glad that many things have stood for. Many of them have been worked on. And two, I started by asking government to have a special program for the rehabilitation of Wakiso District. Road. Today we have a Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Project, and many more are still there. So my presence here is not about just asking for a card, but it's about representing the people of Wakiso and what is due for us. Wakiso is the second district that puts money in the consolidated fund. It needs people who can still speak for it. We need a better share of Uganda's cake.
Sharif Central on the number, the Secretary General. We have come to drop the precipitous enshrined in the Presidential Elections Act, which clearly provides that a presidential candidate must have nominee signatures of at least 100 from each district of around 98 districts that make or that compose this nation. Today, we have brought 100 for 20 districts to the Electoral Commission. The law is clear. It provides for bringing the signatures to the Electoral Commission. Then they take charge of verification.
And sample, there is a way we organize that. So, which is why I don't want to go into details, and that's why we requested for those particulars. We can call a number. We also enter those numbers into our system. You know, we have a register here. So whatever you submit, we are within our rights to sample it out. And I think the guidance has been given, and we believe that the persons who are affected will organize their work and resubmit it. There's still time to do that.
Urugan, to independently. When we reached here, they are saying they have to verify using the numbers or telephone numbers. The man here who is trying to interrogate the phone numbers is actually not a northerner. He called the two people from Guru, another one from Kotido, speaking English. I mean, he's speaking English and Uganda. The villagers don't understand the language this man is talking. So when the man was speaking his local language, and in fact it was a man and a woman, the man was like, it seems this number is not belonging to that college. We are cognizant with the law, that the law provides for only the voter's number of that person and the what? The name, which we have provided as the law enshrines. So I know it is a trick of blocking the peasants' voice this time around, and they are telling us now to go back to the district.